Why a feminine woman needs her own money. I know that this title is not very popular, but we're going to have this conversation because that's what we do here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy. I will see you after this. Hello and welcome to the Black Swan Relationship Academy. My name is Chengi and you, of course, my precious one, are my world. I'm here today to teach you ladies how to present as a high value, high status and high worth woman that high quality and high value men find completely irresistible. If that sounds like you, welcome and you're in the right channel. Do not forget to subscribe, like, share and comment. And let's get right into today's video. I have seen this said on many platforms and perhaps I have been guilty of sharing the same thing. Men don't care about your money. They really don't. High value, high status, high worth men don't date a woman based on how much money she has. However, we as high value feminine women understand a few very important things. Money for us is not what we use to lord it over a man or to assume the dominant role in the relationship. Remember, I'm not talking about masculine energy women. I'm talking about the feminine woman who enjoys a leaning back, being taken care of and being treated like a queen. If that's you, then I'm talking about you. The feminine woman does not revel in dominance. The feminine woman enjoys her passive, patient and vulnerable state, and she loves her man to drive. Now, when we have money as feminine women, we don't use it to wield it as power. Some of us feminine women may even have more money than our partners or the men that are available to us to date. But we don't see that as a reason to belittle him or to judge him or to lead him or to have the dominant voice within the relationship. The problem is, and a lot of us who teach femininity in this space have, left out half of the story. Just because he is not attracted to you because of your money does not mean that you shouldn't have any. So many of us have come to believe that, well, I don't need to have a financial plan. I don't need to have a way of creating an income for myself. All I need is to be pretty, have great hair, and be feminine. And some rich guy is just gonna come and pay all of my bills. Not realizing that actually you're positioning yourself to be low value. You see, you can be feminine and helpless, but also low value. I have had multiple conversations with very wealthy men, and I will tell you that these men may not need you to be rich, but they definitely need you to have good financial acumen. The last thing a man who has spent a lot of his time and effort and energy investing in wants is a woman that is only going to come and spend and squander his money and not increase it and not become an asset in his life, but this constant liability that drains him. He doesn't need you to drive a Bentley or to live in a penthouse suite or to own a mansion, but he does expect you to have your money together. Enough money for you to not have to ask him for money to pay your bills. I had a conversation with a client once. Well, she was one of the Black Swans. She wasn't like a one-to-one client, but she told me she was so upset because, she'd asked her boyfriend for money to pay her bills and he had given her the bare minimum, and she was really upset because most men in her past have given her hundreds more than she needed. She didn't realize that this was low value behavior, because what she was communicating to this man is, I am so helpless and so whatless and so broken at the age of 30 odd that I can't even pay my bills. So many of us are in a position where we cannot even pay our bills. We can't keep the lights on. We can't keep the water running. We cannot keep anything going, but on the outside we have designer handbags and expensive hair and we're these girls, but we can't even keep food in the cupboard. But basically we're living outside of our means. We're living outside of our resources. We're over living. I always say that I live a very modest life because I like the finer things. I could probably afford to live in a big, huge mansion, but I live where I live because it allows me to have the extra bits that I enjoy. I love to live beneath my income level. I love to live comfortably beneath what I can afford, because it is important for me to take care of myself in order for me to be feminine. I don't want to live a life where if I don't have a man, I won't be able to make it. I won't be able to have the finer things in life, because that shifts my energy into a really feral state. And from that feral state, I'm only going to start choosing men that are not compatible, that are not right. And we're going to talk about some of the hazards of being a woman with no money. Money is here in service of you as the feminine woman. We use our money to serve our needs. And whenever we are inward looking and looking after ourselves, we are in our best feminine energy. Trust me, if you cannot pay your bills and you're struggling to make ends meet, chances are you're perpetually in masculine energy because you are in survival mode. And any time that you're in survival mode, you are going to lean in more in your masculine. Even if you're the prettiest girl wearing the prettiest clothes and you're going on a date with a guy and you don't know how you're going to pay that bill in case he says we're going halves, or he says I left my wallet. You have no idea how you're going to make it through that date. Honey, you are going to be masculine energy. There's going to be an energetic wall that you have. There's going to be an energetic strength that you need to have to brave that whole situation through. But when you go on a date and you know that you never know if he's that guy, if he's that gentleman who's going to pay, or you don't know how it's going to play out, whether he left his wallet. I've been on a date with a guy who I was actually in a relationship with, and he paid for everything in the early days. And then we happened to go to dinner and he had locked himself out when I got to his house. And I was like, well, let's go have dinner. And when we got to paying for the bill, he couldn't find his wallet because it was in his house. So I was in a position to pay for it. And, you know, it was quite an expensive bill, but I was in a position to pay for it instead of being humiliated and embarrassed and have to call friends. Never put yourself in a situation where you cannot take care of yourself. This is very, very attractive to a man, to know that he is coming into your life to make it better, not to save it or rescue it. I'm not talking about women who are just going about their lives, trying their best, trying to keep their lives together. I've been there. I have been that woman with 3 jobs trying to raise a child, and I know how difficult it is sometimes to keep the money together. And you don't want to deny yourself love. But you must understand that you are not dating at your most optimal, that the energy that you might be using to go running after getting a man who will help you out in the 21st century is probably best spent figuring out how you're managing your finances, perhaps downsizing, perhaps not buying the things you cannot afford so that you are comfortable within your own skin.
What are you looking for? What do you bring to the table? Here's my number, he says on the dating app, and you have to figure out what you're going to do with that. What do you say when you really like him and want to be unforgettable on the app, at the party, in the moment? What do you say to set boundaries and standards in a high-value, sassy, sexy way and still be taken seriously? What if I told you that we have created a 20-page downloadable PDF full of Black Swan scripts with exactly what to say to him for the unforgettable woman, and it's available now? And if that wasn't enough, What if I told you that I'm giving away a free sample script version that you can use immediately for free? To get both the free version or full version, all you have to do is follow the link in my bio and become unforgettable.
For those of us who have comfortable finances and solid finances, like I said earlier, it's not an opportunity to lord it over a man or to, use it as a reason to be in your masculine energy, but really to serve the soul of the feminine. Some of the things I want to discuss with you today are as follows. Being helpless is not feminine. It makes you a victim to low-value men. Don't get it twisted. The Damsel in Distress Act will always work on any day of the week. It's perfectly fine. I had my car break down. My tire had a nail in it as I was driving on the motorway. And I had to stop. And I was like, oh, whatever shall I do? And this gentleman came out of his big Range Rover and said, I will help you. Right? That's fine. But it wasn't because I didn't have AA on my phone and that I don't have that facility to call for help when I need it. The damsel in distress works for me all the time. When I go off to my mechanics, I'm like, I have no idea what that is. I don't even know what that is. I really genuinely don't. But yes, I love it when men come to the rescue to save me, but it is never because I cannot save myself. And there's something amazing when a man knows she could probably do it herself, but she is holding space for me to be the masculine in this moment and making me feel needed and wanted, because the masculine really loves that. When we show up as helpless, what we do is we make ourselves prey to low-value men with bad agendas. Because we are going to possibly give away what is sacred in exchange for survival. When a woman is emanating survival and she's in survival mode, she reads desperate. You may not be conscious of this, but you are reading desperate. I don't want you to be desperate. I want you to be the woman that has her act together. I want you to be the woman who is selecting a man on the value, the quantity, and the quality of his character and his effervescence and the true nature of who he is, rather than what he has in his pocket. I know that in different places in the world, the cultures will shift and they will change. But let me tell you something. When you come to the table with zero in your pocket, for your own sake and not for his, you make yourself a victim. There should never be a situation when you're in a relationship where the other partner, the man, your partner, believes that without him, you won't be able to make it. This is a very dangerous situation that many women put themselves in. Even if you have the looks of a supermodel or a goddess, never put yourself in a position in any relationship where the power dynamic is so not in your favor. Always been a relationship where you know that, you know what, if this doesn't work, and he knows if this doesn't work, this girl's life will continue as normal. She will be exactly how I found her, and I found her in a life that she loves. I don't care if you live in a shared home. I don't care if you live in a basement apartment or whether you live in a studio flat or live in a mansion. Make sure it's the life you love and that you're not trying to find a man in order for you to upgrade it, because whilst you think that might be smart, whilst you think that might be feminine, you are actually operating in masculine energy. Because at this point, you are the hunter. You are hunting for somebody who is going to sustain your life. This is not the Black Swan way. Number 2, when you have money, you get to actually select the man you want. What we don't realize is that our subconscious mind is running the show. It is 30,000 times more powerful than the conscious mind. And if in the subconscious mind there is a survival mechanism, you will ultimately choose the person who is better able to provide for your physical needs, whilst overlooking the man who can provide for your emotional, spiritual, and some or probably perhaps all of your physical needs. You don't want to have to be sabotaged by your own mind and not select the man that you can actually do forever with, because you are a tripart being. Your physical reality is not your only reality. The actual reality is your spiritual reality, your emotional reality, and then your physical reality is how you express all of those actual realities on this earth. And when you don't have your physical needs taken care of, you will descend to a lower level of vibration where everything is about the car he drives, the clothes he wears, the home he lives in, and you will be razzle-dazzled into an abusive situation. Men who go after helpless, broke women usually do it for a reason. High value, high quality men generally will go for a woman who may not have as much as he does, but whatever she does have, she has it with dignity and she can afford it. Please understand this. I was talking to a millionaire friend of a friend, and he walked in and he owns properties and homes everywhere in the world. The man is loaded. So we're having a conversation and he says, I do not date broke women, period, full stop. He's like, I don't do it. And I don't recommend that any man should do it. And this was not the first time I'd had this conversation with very wealthy men. The idea that you are broke and cannot even keep your life going is problematic, because a man can be afraid that if I take her on board and I die, will she be able to maintain the situation that we have? Or will she end up on the streets with my children because she has no financial acumen and she had none when I met her? Some of the things that really matter to men is that they do not want you on the streets with their children because you lose everything. They want a woman who is switched on. That is not to say they will not look after you and take care of you, especially if you're at home looking after the children. But there is an acumen, a financial acumen that a man would be looking to make sure that you can truly be in his future with him and truly be safe and sound without him. Truly masculine men do not want to die and leave their children with a woman who is incapable of providing at the level that he is able to, at least maintaining what he has been able to do. This fills them with horror. I had a client of mine whose current partner asked her, do you have any shares? Do you have any investments? What do you have? And while she has them, she was really taken aback because she thought to herself, is he being feminine? Is he asking about my money? Because then I had to explain to her, no, he's worried that if anything should happen to him, how would you and the kids be together? She went and had a conversation with him, and lo and behold, he said, I was just worried that if I marry a woman who doesn't have any financial acumen or anything of her own, what if I die? Who will look after her? I don't want to be worried. That was his intention. So I want you to understand that men and women look at money very, very differently. And I know that in the age where we're all trying to be with masculine men who provide, protect, and cherish, we can miss the important bits about our position in the game. The next thing is to look feminine and present feminine costs money. To have your hair done, to have your nails done, to wear the best clothes that look good, that are tailored for your body, in order to actually have a feminine wardrobe, and even to get coaching with the Black Swan Relationship Academy and really get yourself a premium mate. These things are not cheap. I know some of you would love to have a one-to-one call with the coaches, and that one call could change everything in your favor. You have never had a financial plan that includes your personal development, a financial plan that includes your growth, a financial plan towards becoming more feminine and attracting a high-value quality masculine man. What we have to understand is that dating and relationship in the 21st century is not like it was for our mothers and our grandmothers or the generations before us. It is a way more complex situation. It is a way more complex dynamic that involves tutoring at a level that your parents and your sisters were not able to do that. You need to have a budget for your personal development, especially if you want the kind of coaching that we provide here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy. The next thing is you avoid unwanted physical intimacy. When you are dating for money, Often, that instinct to survive will make you have to give up or sleep with people that you're really not ready to sleep with. But because, well, he has a nice car, he's got a nice house, he's going to take care of me, I don't want to make it difficult. There's a lot of unwanted sexual interactions in the dating and relationship world because a lot of us as girls simply are not financially set up. Now, what am I saying in this video? Am I saying do not date at all until you're financially set up and everything is as it should be? Not at all. What I want you to do is raise your consciousness and become conscious and aware of the need for you to develop your finances, even as you grow within your journey, even as you are dating. I would love for you to make decisions dating wise and be a little bit more smart about how you're moving in the world when you don't have the kind of money that you need in order for you to feel safe. I want to raise your consciousness to understand that everything we do have can be multiplied, and everything that we have, we can take better care of it. Maybe it's time for you to look through your wardrobe and think about the clothes that you could possibly get rid of that you don't even wear. I heard a stylist say the other day that, well, we only wear 20% of our wardrobe. That really made me think. I thought perhaps I need to really go and look at the 80% that I don't wear and maybe make some money off it. Maybe some of us need to just stop shopping so much and really start investing in things that will bring us more money. Maybe we need to hire a financial coach, or maybe we just need to really take a deep look at our finances and stop thinking that just because masculine high value men do not choose a woman based on how much money she has, that we don't need to have any at all. If you are a black swan, I'm encouraging you to really have a robust, down-to-earth, grounded understanding of your finances, and understand that you will get there. You will get to the point where you can afford this and that and the other. But for now, maybe not this moment. Maybe right now, you just need to have surplus. Maybe right now, you just need to have an expendable income. Maybe right now, you just need to be able to sit comfortably and know that if anything were to go wrong in your life, you have 2 months worth or 3 months worth to live off. Maybe you just need to have that security, because I promise you, when you are dating as a feminine woman with her own money, the experience is very different. And maybe for some of us, we need to take a year out of our lives, 6 months out of our lives to get our finances right, to really sit down and look at our money and figure out the best way forward. I hope that this video was helpful to you. And for those of you who have great financial acumen, I hope that you've been able to really reflect on this video and realize that you are winning. It's always nice sometimes to watch a video and know that, yeah, I'm winning, but this win is for me. It is not going to entitle me to a great guy. What entitles me to a great guy is being a great girl, is being a woman with high value, high status, and high worth. I look forward to seeing you on my next video. But in the meantime, do take care of you. Love you lots. Bye-bye now. Well done for coming to the end of this video. What I want to ask you is, what have you learned? What is your takeaway? And what are you going to start practicing right away? Those 3 things are how you are going to get the best out of every class here at the Black Swan Relationship Academy. Please put it in the comments so that we can all have a look. So I can have a look, the coaches can have a look. And I promise you, we read every comment. We may not be able to reply to every comment, but we read all your comments and we want to see how you are growing. And we will see you on the next video.